This shit on fell and everything. Try it again.
There we go. There we go. We live. We
That's the
live.
one,
We
two,
live
three.
though. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Grove Hall. Grove Hall, baby.
You good?
Finally. Yeah. Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Yep. Yep. You can hear me?
Yep.
All right. All right. You know what it is. So, we just messing
So
around with stuff.
we
But
got Dre and we got Drew.
hold on for a second, bro. We gotta let them know we got
Oh shit. What we doing?
yeah, bro. We live.
That was my patented. That was my patented shot. One thing I could do was finger roll.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's the layup line, man.
It's there.
Yeah.
Well, it's a long time in the coming.
Long time, man. Long time in the making. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely something that we been probably 3 years or so in, like at least in the making of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll do the Pain kind of putting the battery up, guys back with heart boxing. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, come on, fellas.
Yeah.
So
We
with
had
the
to make it
brand
happen.
going, right. So with the brand going, and the network, we had to add something else, man. So it was about time. You know what I mean? So welcome everyone to Grove Hall, where Roxbury meets Dorchester. You dig?
And I'm your host, Sam Little, and this guy over here. Do I need to introduce you?
Coach Main in the building.
Coach Main Topic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So today we're gonna recap basically the summer.
Summer of 24.
Basketball in the city.
What do you think, man? What do you think of it like this summer? What do you think of your first impressions?
You gotta love it. You gotta love all the different organizations that are putting on tournaments every year. Big contrast to when we were coming up. We only had so few, but now we have a lot of bright young men that are trying to put on for the city. So I definitely love it. Definitely love it.
No, and it was as tough as it is. We may have to do a part 2 to this because we definitely with so many people that we wanted to be a part of it, but it's only a select few that you can have. So, we feel like the people that we picked to be on this show, man, are more than worthy of it for the things that they've done in the summertime, their tournaments, and just the energy they bring to the city, man. So, let's bring them on screen.
Yeah, bring them on down. Bring them on in.
Here we go. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to good brother right here. Needs no introduction right here, Mr. Dorchester in the building. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the other famous Drew. Yes.
You know what I mean? Let's get this other brother on stage. Hold on. Yes, sir. Blue.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on, fellas? Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening to you, brother.
Yeah, man. But man, now like we just want to recap the summer. We want to bring some good people on, basketball heads who know, the game and everything like that. But before we do that, though, hold on.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
On Dead Dogs, the Grove Hall show got it locked. The best sports show in New England, it's your first stop. See Coach Main handle topics like he got the rock. Point guard, drop it off, help you find your spot. Payne got the streets on smash. Dropping jewels every time like J Kidd off the glass. And let's keep it real, everybody game for real. That's why we got Mr. Maritime here to seal the deal. Tune in.
Yo.
That's tight. I like that. That's tight.
Yeah,
we had to get the intro going. Thank you.
I like that.
Definitely had to add some flavor of the summer into. Definitely had to. Well, fellas, welcome aboard. Dre Barbosa over here to my right, and I have Drew Angus over here to my left. From their respective tournaments, King of the Court, and Crew Love. Two of the biggest tournaments here in the city. You know, definitely appreciate you guys. And, you know, me and Maine, you know, for, you know, a couple of years now, we've taken part in you guys' tournament, and it's been nothing but spectacular every time we come in. So appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate you having me on board.
No, definitely. It was only right, man. So, I mean, I guess let's get right into it. You know what I mean? Like, summer of 24, thoughts, impressions of where the game is currently and the summer of 24, how you felt about the basketball. Was it good basketball? Was it bad basketball? Like, just, you know, give your thoughts. And then the future too of the game of basketball in the city. So, I mean, we start with whichever one go first. We're gonna start to Dre.
I think the future of basketball is in great hands. Man, I've seen so much young talent in the city. You know, our city boys and people coming from outside the city. We got players from New York coming down in our tournament, Connecticut. So the future of basketball is in great hands, especially with, you know, Drew, his team, Crew Love, my team. You know, you got Save Our Streets. Shout out to those guys. I think that the future of basketball is in great hands. I'll start there. I will say, I think this year, more so than any years in the past, it was glaring that we're in a transition. These young boys are here. And, you know, those kind of, I won't say older guys because, you know, basketball is a beautiful sport. You can play it at, you know, at any age. As we see 35 and older, 40-year-old leagues, 50-year-old leagues. But there is a trend I felt more than any. It was more exciting watching these young boys get after it. They're still competing. And the talent level, you can clearly see it where these young boys is showing IQ, showing grit. They're determined. And, you know, I in terms of the older guys and the younger guys, I give it to the young boys. How you feel about that, Drew?
I do think there is a transition. I think it's a beautiful thing. I'm seeing a lot more mentorship with this transition, which makes the game probably 10 times better than sometimes how we growing up. You know what I'm saying? Just being able to see guys give advice. I think the only takeaway from the summer that I feel from when we was growing up, it was rivalries, right? Like we would stay on one team. We ain't jumping just because it's the money and loading up. You know what I'm saying? So
Drew's on it.
Well, you're already in war mode. I like this part right here.
We ain't even a minute in, fam. It's 7, bro.
I think for the summer, you know, basketball, it's good, but I feel like, you know, back then when we knew certain teams, hardball, chill, mission, you know what I'm saying, they're going to stay with their legitimate people, you know, it's almost like, yeah, that's what I'm coming out for. Now it's kind of like you might
everybody's teaming together, huh?
Yeah, you might see Mikey on a different team next week, and then he's, you know, like, but, you know,
why Mikey taking straight?
Yo,
let me go get my cup.
Drew.
Shout out Mikey.
Shots fired.
Yo, Drew, what are we doing?
Yo, Drew.
I think we're all to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? So I think is making sure that, you know, the competitive nature is there. And once again, that's good basketball when you can see guys really sticking together. You know, I think it's a different type of message that you send our kids too, that you're able to stay with your school and grind it out, you know, and not easily say, I'm about to transfer because something gets hard, you know.
Yeah.
So
my only pushback to that, or, you know, addition to that, I don't feel like it's just a Boston, you know, Roxbury, Dorchester thing or Crew thing. I think or I guess I'm asking, do you think we would attribute that to what we're seeing on, you know, the AAU circuits, where you're seeing guys teaming up across the nation, where, you know, they partner up, you know, the better ball players are getting with each other, and where we're not seeing peak performance basketball. So my example would be like, and not to, I love Braun, I love Bronny, I love, everything they do. It's like, I heard Gilbert Arenas make a good point where, the expectation for Bronny, like they want to see him get buckets now to maintain on that Laker team. And they're like, he's always been playing with four other great 4 or 5 star recruits next to him. And so he's never had to go out there and get buckets because, there's always somebody great around him. So do you think that's a nationwide thing that's happening? Maybe that's what they're seeing.
Definitely a nationwide thing. It's definitely been a nationwide thing.
Yeah.
It definitely feels like a nationwide thing. You see it now, in college, high school, like I said, across the board, definitely across the board. NBA, at every level, you see that. It's like the competitive nature just is like gone away a little bit, or just people just want to take the easy route.
Yeah.
But do you fault the kids or do you fault the leadership of some of these coaches? Because there was a lot of coaches back in the days that was going around just trying to grab up the best talent, putting them on teams. This is not something that these kids have, kind of,
I feel like it goes to the individual now. You know what I'm saying? There's choices that you're going to have to make as an individual. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit here and be like, I'm a soccer player and I'm going to go play with the best. No, I want to beat the best. You know what I'm saying? In order to be the best, you got to be the best. I can't team up with the best because, like you said, that's kind of cutting corners a little bit. That's the easy way. I do want to see sports get back to that, though, but I think we're seeing it at a higher level. And so it's trickling on down to, the events that we put on and things of that nature,
So going back to something Dre said earlier, we got people from New York, Cal, different states coming to play in our tournaments. How do you guys feel about that? That we're no longer using just our own talent in our own tournaments, and instead we're flying guys out, pause, quote unquote, to kind of, take up some of these roster spots of players.
I feel like that's always been there, though. I feel like that's not really a new thing of guys bringing in guys imports from out of town. I don't think that's anything new. You know what I mean? And I'm saying that because, like, I remember, the guys went to school at Fisher College, but they were from New York. So, technically, they were imports, right? I just happen to have access to them, but those are definitely imports. You know what I mean? That's been going on.
Some of our guys are going to top D1 schools. You can't fault them for making friends, making teammates, and actually saying, hey, I want y'all to spend a weekend in Boston with me. And they just happen to be good hoopers, That I think is beautiful for us. They get to see somebody that is out of town that they don't know. And once again, it grows the game. Maybe somebody from Virginia or DC is coming down just to watch them play. That just adds to the substance of Boston a little bit, because it's not just the basketball, it's the camaraderie. They get down here and they see it. It's like, oh, I didn't even know y'all had a dope basketball community like that, So
I didn't know y'all had a black community like that. Period.
Right.
They be confused. They be thinking Boston's just, a certain way, man. I think what's also growing, which I've noticed, is that we got to take note of, is the documentation of what's going on. There's a lot of cameras out here now, a lot of young videographers, a lot of highlight clips going on, and that's an element where we didn't have before. Where before we could just be like, when asked like, "Yo, who was Scott Clark or something like that?" And I got to hear it from some of the elder statesmen, like, "Yo, he was he's had the nastiest shot you've ever seen. It was so pure, so silky." And it's like, damn, I wish I could have seen it. Like, now we have footage, and the footage is here, is documented, and there's an element of that that's great. And I think that's super dope. And I think we got to take note of that. Shout out to Aaron Cooley, and his filmography, smoking out here, shout out to, everybody. My man, RJ Sampson, he's out here. Diego, these guys. I think that's an element that's here that we need to, start championing a little bit.
Call to connect.
Call to you know, it's
Yeah.
shout out to Bougie Brito, man. He was out here, he touched down, and he a lot of great from cinematography. Annette, you know, Annette's been shooting for us just crystal clean pictures, and you know, we're blessed in that way where Annette do NBA photos, man. She's in our tournaments too, so we getting high quality, you know, documentation of what we got going on. And I think when we, you know, 10, 15, 20 years, man, when we look back, man, we did some fly stuff. Like in the moment,
Yeah.
we can't really see it. When we look back, man, it's like picking up the old USA Today or the Boston Globe. When you see your name in that clipping, you're looking for it. You know, it's documented, man. We got it now, so that's fly. Something that we didn't have before.
And I don't want to but a lot of these people have been at our tournaments. A lot of these people have been at our tournaments, and that's how they kind of got their break with some of these NBA teams and things of that nature. So, you know, once again, for us to have tournaments to give platforms so that the work is shown, you know, like that's like dope. We don't really take a look at that when we doing tournaments. It's just higher and then good quality. We doing it for us, and once again, when in the opportunities that we are creating for our people, you know, on the side. So.
Drew, let me ask you this. You think that it get to a point where we got to start governing that?
It's art, you know, that's someone's art, you know, and I think art belongs to the world. And, you know, once again, like, I don't want to be the person to say, nah, you with us, you know, like, nah, whatever your vision is that you captured for that moment, we're going to honor that, you know, and I don't think we need to kind of put them in a chokehold and say, nah, you got to rock with us. You know, a lot of times that's what happens, but we have to kind of give grace, man. Like, yo, we're doing dope things, man, and they're doing dope things. And when it connects, it just, it works well for both parties, you know? So
Absolutely. Definitely.
Absolutely. So, yo, fellas, like, so you guys both have amazing tournaments, some of the best in the summertime. So starting with you, Dre, like, what was your reasoning? What was your thought process? What made you want to have a tournament? You know what I mean? You definitely been doing it for about like 12, 11 years, like really long time, man. So let's get into King of the Court, man. And what was your thought process with getting that together?
It's a pretty I go through the story. I have more years under my belt. But you know, unfortunately, COVID hit, and mine's an indoor tournament at a college. So, you know, for like 2.5 years, 3 years, I pulled back just because I love that site, and you know what my foundation for that, you know, that tournament is built there. So I held back. But man, King of the Court started from I had just graduated from college, Emmanuel College. And that was during the housing market crash. So economy was kind of, you know, messed up a little bit. And I was doing concierge. And I'm in this building with 2 billionaires and everybody else is, you know, 100 millionaires in. And so I won't share that information, their information with them. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry, excuse me. And so I'm in that building, and they're very private people. And so, you know, I got to getting to know them, and you know, kind of picking their brain. And I'm like, man, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like picking their brain, and like, you know, I'm around millionaires and billionaires. I'm like, I need to know something. And it's the lady had told me, she said, I said, what's up? What's it all about? She said, it's about giving back. Man, it's a billionaire, and a billionaire is telling me about giving back, but I'm sitting there looking at her like, yeah, but how do I get to the millions? She's like, you know, it starts with giving back. She's like, it's not really about the money. Such a humble person, and this person, mind you, they were part of UNICEF. They're creating hospitals, schools all over in Africa and all these different places. So they're really giving back, you know, and giving back is on to each his own on every level is great, no matter how big, how small. And so I was like, man, she's like, find out what you love. And, you know, sports was always my thing. I went back to my college and I was like, you know what? how can I give back? And I thought of this woman, her name was Kay Trask. She worked in the Academic Resource Center. And a part of being a ball player, we had to go to study hall or the Academic Resource Center, and she'd be down there. And she would help us out. Such a kind-hearted woman, and she was such a pillar to Emmanuel College, but one of those kind of unsung heroes that, you're in the Academic Resource Center, it's in the basement of the library, not too many people see her, and you would think that the people that do go down there are the people that need help. So it wasn't many of us, but a lot of us on the sports team were down there. And when during that time, Katrina had hit, and my roommate was from New Orleans, Third Ward. Shout out to Tolliver Thomas, Brian Lindsay, and she had vouched for one of their cousins to come up because Katrina was bad. They lost their homes, they lost everything. Everybody remember Katrina was devastating.
Mm-hmm.
Came up here, and she was just looking out for us, man. She would look out for them, look out for me, looking out like just kind lady. And she always said, it's always about paying it forward. It took that model, pay it forward.
You just kept dropping on jewels on me.
Yeah, man. And so just giving the jewels like that. And then she had noticed my grades were slipping. She's like, man, what's going on? I'm a prideful kid. I was in whatever, I get it, whatever. And then, I grew a vulnerability towards her. And I was like, look, I ain't got no money for books. And that's why my grades are slipping. I was photocopying books, and that just eventually just got tired. People always looking, being nosy about, why he always copying, or why he always borrowing a book from somebody or something like that. And, she's like, man, you should have told me. I was like, what you mean? She's like, look, let's do a deal. I give you books, and my pride would get in the way. I'm like, I don't need your money. I don't need whatever. She's like, look, your grades are slipping. She's like, let's do a deal. She's like, if you can get a 3.5 GPA, she said, if I get 3.0 or 3.2, something like that. She's like, you get 3.2 or 3.0, and the books are for free. If you don't, you got to pay me back. Do you one better? 3.67, and they're graduating. And it was just a great relationship from there. And, she never shared it with anybody. She kept it between me and her.
Mm-hmm.
And she looked out. So for my junior and senior year, she bought me my books as long as I maintained. And not only did I maintain, but I excelled. But again, and that's just it's the same old story for all of us. We're all bright, we're all gifted, we're all talented. But if we ain't got the resources, we can't really.
We don't get that chance.
We don't really get that chance. And so when I fast forward to that job and that lady saying about giving back, I go back to the college like, yo, I want to do a basketball tournament, and I want to do it in her name.
Yeah.
Because she had helped so many of us.
Word up.
And so that's why I named it, the King of the Court, Kay Trask, King of the Court basketball fundraiser. And so it went from there, man. And then I never forget that first year. Everybody in that building had donated where I was at. I think I went to the director of student financial services there at Emmanuel. I never forget, I had a Gucci bag that I had the Gucci bags that come with your shoes or whatever, just Gucci bag full of money. And I sat with her. I just put it on her desk. She was like, yo, I can't take that. She's like, I don't know what this is. She's like, I can't take that. She's like, I don't know what I was like, no. I was like, yo, I did a basketball tournament. It's a fundraiser. I'm giving back. And she's like, for real? Like, yeah. She's like, oh, we got to go about, there's a proper protocol about how we accept money and things like that.
Yeah.
And she was like, yo, we got a job position open. I think you should apply. Boom, student financial services. I apply, donate the money, and it's an actual award on the students, a scholarship on students award. So if somebody gets awarded that, you see it there. It says King of the Court, scholarship on somebody's scholarship package. The dope thing about that is I tailored it to be for high needs students. You have to be a junior or a senior. You have to have a declared major. And you have to use the Academic Resource Center. And so there's some qualifications for it. And I kind of tailored it to someone like me. It's not contingent on race or ethnicity or anything like that. It's just, hey, you fit these criteria of high need. You declared your major and use that academic resource center, you can qualify for it. And I'm proud to say over the last, 12 years, we've been able to donate and help, students with their some resources, whether that's books, whether that's laptop materials, class materials, whatever that is. And then it comes in the form of a scholarship. So it's pretty dope now that I think about it. I was saying it out loud. I haven't said it out loud in a while.
Word up, man.
That's what's up. Paying it forward.
Absolutely. Paying it forward, man. Paying it forward. And definitely one of the more competitive tournaments in the summertime. No question.
Definitely.
Talk your ish, man. How many chips you got over there?
I mean, I won't listen.
Right,
I was able.
The
first annual King of the Court tournament. We got that. That was 2011.
Epic.
And then we won in 2013.
Epic. You came with a bowl.
I personally don't have any chips. I was brought in by my man, Main Topic, a few years ago. We kind of made it. We did make it to the chip one year.
We lost in the chip.
Yeah.
We lost in the chip twice to the home team, and we lost the play to that year. You're talking about we lost to play to win.
Overtime or double overtime?
Overtime, double. Yeah, it was like overtime, double overtime. Crazy ass,
baby.
Crazy game. But definitely one of the more competitive tournaments. You know what I mean, in the summertime. Drew down,
Yes,
Mr.
Crew
Dorchester.
love.
Crew love, man.
Hey, man.
Crew love.
And I see him over there rocking that Dorchester shirt. We be back.
The neighborhood holiday. The neighborhood holiday.
Hey, man. There's a lot to say about Crew Love, man. There's a really lot to say. I think Crew Love is for the culture. And I think everybody that has been there knows that it's not just about the basketball. It's about the camaraderie. It's about showing the city that we can unite, positivity. But we can start from the beginning.
Wait. Before you start from the beginning, was this tournament designed for fashion?
Was it designed?
Was it a fashion designers tournament actually?
Nah. So it started out as small businesses and crews. You had a small business, and you kind of run with your same guys that you grew up with. Then that's how you were able to get into the tournament and things of that nature. Me and Keith, which is Jay, so all those guys back there, and there were more.
You're blocking Rich and Phil, dog.
Yeah, I'm blocking my guys, man.
Don't block
my guys.
man.
You're blocking my guys, man.
But I was in college at the time at Salem. So B4L is me, Fat Boy, C's, Big Dave Foss, and then MMC is Phil, two Phils, Greg, Peter, and Jay. I would bring MMC to fashion shows at Salem when we had little fashion shows up there, so they can so their brand can be out there a little bit. So we just connected, and then we had a conversation about basketball. Me and Jay used to be at Charlestown together, and fourth period was our basketball period. And because I played on the team, it was more so about getting a workout. And I wasn't really a put shots up type of guy. I'm actually like a guy that just wants to get out there and play. So those fourth periods were really intense, So conversation started right at Salem, yo, you think y'all can't beat us 5-on-5? That's cold. That's how it started. And then we start thinking yo, do you think we can put this thing together, and start a tournament? Quickly, we gave ourselves only 2 weeks to do this tournament, but It was a quick turnaround, and we got it done. I think we didn't have all the answers just yet. We didn't have a vision just yet. We just knew that we wanted to get people together to play some basketball. And we had a network of people that we can kind of connect to kind of get it done. And then the crazy thing about it, we were driving by Garvey Park and was like, yo, nobody uses this park down here, and so for years, our tournament was down at Garvey Park, which is in New Ponce. Kind of a white neighborhood to some. So for years, it used to be a lot of pushback about us being down there, and we never understood why. But we kept pushing. They kept allowing us to get the permit. And then one year they were doing Garvey Park over, and they were like, you can't go down there. You got to pick within the hood. You know what I'm saying? And they gave us like Washington Park, where Save Our Streets was previously before they moved to their new park. And we were just like, all right, we're just going to go on the Ave. We'll take Harambe Park, and we'll try to make it into something that we feel like it needs to be. There's a lot of challenges that come with this, because I've started noticing the bigger you get, the harder these people don't want you down there, But we started doing this without political elects and just our own money, and just tapping into just us, knowing that we can get it done. Never really you go have a meeting with a cop, that's only because you're on his playing field, his playing ground. So the only thing that you can do is go have a meeting with him. But realistically, we didn't have political back support and things of that nature. So this was all just us hitting the ground running. But then when we got bigger, as we were growing and getting bigger, we started noticing that having these deep conversations about small businesses and, how can we support them in any which way, so not even to share any business out there, but we put a vendor at that time, like 150, 200, somebody's coming out of there with $7,000, you know what I'm saying? But for us, once again, it's not really about the money. It's about making sure that people know the brand, people know that that's a small business. You may not catch them in a mall or things of that nature, but they're around, So being intentional about that, and making sure like our mission statement started to make some sense to us. Like, my son's tripping right now, but we all came together as a collective to kind of push this initiative, as far as trying to support small business. So you might see some cooks, you might see some brands, you might see, different type of people trying to share information. When it came down to the crew part about it, it started to get a little tricky and sticky, because not everybody is from a crew and they're going to go get the best players and things of that. But really, realistically, this tournament was for the people that really just loves playing basketball, who's not really on the scale of playing in a money tournament or things of that nature. It was really established for those people. So that's when rules start being applied. No D1s. No pros and things of that nature. And we got hella slack for it, like hella slack for it. I remember we had to pull somebody up. We had to pull Mikey. Sorry, Mike, if you see this, man.
When you have a good tournament, everybody wants to be a part of it. So I get it, but I love the fact that y'all did implement those rules, because, now you get to see, some guys that probably don't get that light, and are out there in the bigger tournaments and stuff of that nature. You actually are creating those diamonds that other people can now see.
True. And I think we all looked at it like a way for other coaches to kind of see city talent as like, I ain't never seen him before. I might want to holler at him after this game for some of these money tournaments. Maybe he's a glue guy. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe it's somebody that you can kind of put on your team, but he's from the city. He's going to go hard. So as we were getting like bigger, it started to be the conversation of Roxbury versus Dorchester. That started knocking on the door a little bit. And once that started knocking on the door, we had some interesting people to pull in, Maine, Rufus, just to kind of say like, hey, is this something you think the city would want to see? I remember the day clearly. And I was a charter school basketball coach at the time. So we had charter versus Boston Public Schools at the time before that game happened. And I remember saying, yo, the charter boys is gonna they're gonna push the city boys to where it needs to be. And so when we did it, that particular day we did Roxbury versus Dorchester in the Mildred, right? I just got off of work. I didn't expect the turnout to be what it was. I really did. I walked in, the bleachers were already packed. It was like, hold up, did we stop these people real quick? Like it was one of those things. But then to deal with the outside of it, like people are parking all the way down at Mattapan Station, walking up to the Mildred. That's a long walk. Why would you do that? But just to know that there is a community that's trying to support their community, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, dang, we gotta holler at somebody for next year. So to Dre's point, we hollered at Dre to kind of do Roxbury versus Dorchester in a place that's comfortable, in a place that's kind of in a location that is fair, and it was a great turnout, great turnout. And then we started to understand the magnitude of COVID and what it was doing to our tournaments at the time and things of that nature. So the conversation was, do you put that with Crew Love Weekend? Do you add it? And once we added it, it started to be a really good thing. It started to be like before the call out. I mean, once the call out games are done, there's a main event on a Saturday, before our call out games, once the call out games is done, that's Saturday's done. But to see the amount of people that are pouring into Harambe Park just to kind of see this game was something that we kind of was like, all right, I think we have something here, we have something here, but we also have something tomorrow, we also have something on Sunday, which people come out just as much as they come out for Roxbury versus Dorchester, they come out for Crew Love just in the same capacity. And once again, doing these tournaments and things of that nature, once you have a level of I want to say we passed the number of 3,000 people on the third one. And now you start getting the calls you outgrow your park, you got to push it somewhere, things of that nature. These are things that kind of hinder the vibe of the tournament a little bit. And once we got here to this year, there was a lot of pushback. I ain't gonna hold you. There was a lot of pushback. People were like, nah, you can't. It might not happen this year the way you want it to happen.
So it's a constant fight every year now.
It's a constant fight. But once again, like I tell the young guys too that ask us about tournament stuff and things of that nature, you can't skip any steps in this. Your paperwork has to be solid. Your facts have to be solid. Once all of that's in line, there's nothing much people can say to you. The last year we had a little incident, had nothing to do with the tournament.
Oh man.
But the picture was already painted. It was already clear, So moving into this year, it was almost like, we need you out of there by 4:00. And it was what? And so once again, I think this was the year that we did reach out to Brian Roel, Liz, a couple of other people just to kind of, we wanted to be even in these rooms, And again, I don't think our team are people that want to sit in those rooms because I think we do things naturally, but now that you have to sit in these rooms just so that the facts are right there. Like, hey, anything y'all got to say about Crew Love, just know that nothing goes down. You know, this is a positive event. You know, so for the most part, you know, we get our resources really. Shout out to Frank Farrell, yo. You know, like
Yo,
Yeah.
word up.
us down since
Definitely.
day one. You know, so has our back since day one. Even Russell Paulding holding us down since day
Big
one.
Russ.
You know,
Big Russ.
as big as our tournament got, I think the most important year that people kind of understood the magnitude of it is when Jalen was here and the mayor was there. You know, that the celebrities
Mm.
coming down.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's almost like, how can we help you? You know, like, how can we help you? It wasn't how can we help you before, you know, but now how can we help you? Because we know Marcus Smart and these guys are going to come and look. I want to say shout out to the city, because this is not a Paul Pierce situation where NBA players walking around comfortably and things of that nature without real security and things of that. The city kind of just, yo, I rock with Jalen. You know what I'm saying? So
Word up.
I think our events need to be a little bit more of that. Like, you know, seeing our high athletes, our elite athletes coming to these things and really enjoying themselves, but understanding that they safe where we are, you know?
Right.
I know we do have you know, we do have ruffles, you know what I'm saying? But I think for the most part, Crew Love is about united in the city, and I think we do it in a really good way, you know?
No, definitely. You guys do it in a definitely great way.
You know, I'm hoping maybe 10 years, 15 years down the road, I see a documentary on the both of you guys' tournaments, you know, over the years. So I hope y'all got the footage ready, man. I hope y'all getting this ready, man.
It's crazy because
Because y'all got something real special going on, both of y'all.
and it's crazy because just like Dre said, you know, like we're trying to pave things forward. So in the next 5 years, you might see different young faces running Crew Love, and that's how it's supposed to be. You know, like we're not here because we started it. We're here because we're trying to hand something off so that people know, like, this is supposed to stay in our community. You know, so but we got something big coming. But we could talk about that later on in the show.
Dre, your mic is muted. Was you saying something?
Whenever I get on like a virtual, like I just feel like my kids just come out, and this is the time for them to just start working different. You know, she working the fridge all of a sudden, ice. And kids, come on, man! Like, but now,
now.
Man, Crew Love has been. It's an event for the city, and I think from a fan and a supporter standpoint, whenever I walk by these guys as it's going, I always stop. I stop guys and I'm like, yo, stop. Look what y'all are doing.
Yeah, stay in
y'all be in the movement, moving. I'm like, yo, stop. Just look around. And they'll stop and look around. Like, I'm like, yeah, man, y'all did this. And it's a dope feeling, because I ain't even gonna hold you. It's like, along with the, shout out to Russ and Russ's tournament
I was gonna that was my next question. I was gonna get into that. Outside of you guys' respective tournaments, right? What are some of your favorite tournaments to go and support and pull up and watch? You know what I mean? We have so many, and just, I felt like you guys was throwing the alley-oop just mentioning Russ. So I mean, I'm sure both of you guys are gonna say him, you know what I'm saying? But just outside of your own respective tournaments, what are some of your other favorite summertime tournaments to go to, pull up, see some good basketball, whether it's, the men's or even the high schools? Because keeping it a buck, the few games that I did go out and see this summer, I was impressed the most by the young talent, the high school talent. Those were the best games that I saw. Shout out to the good brothers out in Lynn, because that game, that tournament out there, the high school game was crazy.
Yeah, Lynn getting the shaking out there, man. Lynn's definitely getting the shaking. But back to your original question, definitely, man, Russ's tournament. It just was what was dope about Russ is like it was always a theme for peace in the community, stop the violence. You know, shout out to Antoine Keys, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
Eric Poulton.
He's Eric Poulton, God rest his soul. And it's always a theme of giving back or helping somebody. Like that's the piece. And then when we start talking basketball, it's top talent. It's always top tier talent. Not only that, I think Russ was one of the first people to really start introducing, getting the best referees out here.
Definitely.
Three referees a game, professional referee. We got NBA referees around. And so I think when we start with him, when you're bringing that level of talent, and it's not like, it's one team or two teams that's, stacked with NBA, 6, 7, 8 teams with pro players on there. They want to come because one, the competition, but two, they know these referees that are there is 3 referees. They don't know you. There's no bias here. You're not intimidating these guys. Let's get to it. And I think that as much as we want to, see these pro players, they want to be around it too, man. They want to be around it, man. And shout out to Crew Love, man. We haven't seen, and this is an argument that's happened, but we ain't seen no real superstar player come touchdown in the hood like that, man. Jalen was with us. Jalen, not only was he with us, man. That year I popped into Crew Love early. He was there from like morning to like night, like the whole day.
The juice truck out there.
Kicking it, cooling, taking pictures, shaking hands, kissing babies. I'm like, and I'm a super prideful dude, so I don't even really be wanting to take pictures or whatever, man. But he dapped, bring it in. I'm like, oh, all right, cool. He want to and so. You hear a lot of people like, oh, no, we used to bring such and such. We used to bring, homie pulled up. Homie pulled up and like, that wasn't like, yo, come just take a picture on some promo. Nah, he felt like, it felt real homey to him. He felt like he was home. And it wasn't on, people were fans, but people kind of let him be. He was cool and kicking it.
Yeah.
Put a lawn chair up, watch the game. And I feel like he watched every game. Like, and that within itself, like, you don't know what that's doing to some 4 or 5-year-old out here, some 6-year-old. Like, yo, I met Jalen, we was here, I played in this. Like, that's life-changing stuff. And so, like, back to what I was saying, like, just as much as we want them to come, I really believe that they want to be here too, and they need that energy too. And not for nothing, on a grand scale of things, that helps an NBA guy want to stay here in Boston, because Boston ain't got a good rep in terms of, their star athletes. We don't get nobody from no real trades unless it's, unless it's out of the draft, because, we have that stigma that it's a racist city. It's all white. It ain't really no black. And we have that stigma here. We need to, it's not even a stigma. There's truth to it, but there's also the other side of it, where there is a lot of black love here. There is a lot of black community. There is a home for you guys here. And there is, and so I think that Crew Love for Jalen was like, it was a nod, man. I ain't even gonna hold you, man. Because our sports radio stations, they don't do our athletes no justice. I can't stand some of these guys. They be making it seem like we be hating these players, man. We love our players, man. We love our players.
Word up.
AG, Marcus Smart being in the hood. Like, shout out to Marcus Smart. Like, yo, Shabazz Napier. Like, them dudes be here, man. We got pros here, and I think when you get that community aspect, the way we've adopted from some of the forefathers of this tournament thing.
Russ is definitely one of them, no question.
Russ is one. I think
no question.
Chill.
Shout out to Chill.
Yeah.
OG triple.
I'm gonna say that. I mean, to be honest with you, like a lot of us, I'm not gonna lie, we mirror Russ a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We mirror Chill a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of the things that we got going on, we learned to kind of play the game just like how they taught us to play the game. Yappa did a tournament called Terrascape. you know, and it was a tailskate tournament at the Lee School. And when you used to beat a team by 20, he would have a box of chicken nugget. You know what I'm saying? It's like you beat somebody by 20, you had the chicken nuggets and stuff like that. But realistically, you started to understand why tournaments are important. It brings people together. It gives players to play they people. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man Terrence, baby.
Sleep.
But yeah, most important, I think we won't be able to do this without being at their establishments, understanding what love in a community looks like. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When you pull up to Russ's tournament and you take that little left or right into that driveway to go all the way back there, you know, like, oh my God, it's a congregation of people. You know what I'm saying? But when you walk in the gym, you know that it's all love. It's not nothing that you gotta fight nobody, or you're not pulling up there to go, meet somebody there to go. Nah, it's all love. You know what I'm saying? So I think we've learned a lot from those people. You know what I'm saying? And Chill's like what, 30-something years in. You know?
Yeah, big shout out to Chill, man. Big shout out to Chill tournament. Man.
Yeah, man. You know,
high school division, the men's division.
I want to send a
shout
out to Simi, and I want to send a shout out to Eastie, because once again, those are tournaments that are kind of on the outskirts, but they're big in their own right. We personally can't get to Eastie because we're on the same day. Once again,
what is that? The Hondo tournament?
Shout out to Jermaine Prue. Shout out to my brother Jermaine Prue. Solid brother, solid individual, doing great work in his community.
Yes, sir. Yes,
sir. He originally a Dorchester kid.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Man, let it fly. I think Let It Fly is really good for the high school. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of people that are doing great work. But hold on. Save Our Streets too.
Save Our Streets, absolutely.
Yeah, shout them out earlier, but absolutely shout them out again. They're doing great things, man, and they'll continue to do great things. And I think Save Our Streets, they've evolved in a major way, where it went from showing you what community really is. Community, isn't just basketball, man. Save Our Streets got golf going on right now. They're teaching our kids how to swim right now. And they've expanded, and they've, really made this into, a community at large, like for real. So that's, they touching everybody, the way it needs to be, our community in that way. And so not just a basketball thing, or not just or you got to be a really
basketball's the vehicle. Basketball's the vehicle. It's the vehicle for
sports. Is the vehicle, right?
And it leads to it leads to everything. You know what I'm saying? Everything else. Yeah. Shout out to my man Tuquan Brighton in the building. Yep.
Hey, Timmy.
You already know.
Shout out to Born Ready too, man. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Timmy.
Absolutely. He's out in Brockton doing this thing.
Yes, what's up? Yes, sir. My man from Suave Life.
Suave Life. Yes.
Shout out to the good brother Suave.
Shout out to Mitch.
Shout out to C Murder. Right. Shout out to Mitch. Shout out to C Murder, Coach Steve.
Hurt Skills.
Yep. Definitely. The summertime, man. The future of it is really bright, man.
Definitely.
Life's crazy. Shout out to them guys, man.
Okay. Yep. They just had something in Madison, right? This year.
Yep.
Okay.
What was that? That was Legends tournament or something like that.
Tournament. Yep. That was Madison. But I think I know we're talking about good stuff, but I'll tell you a couple of things that we need as far as tournaments goes.
Okay.
And maybe the community on this platform can help all of us with that. I know a lot of us need rain sites. I know a lot of us need certain things, but rain sites are one of them. I think we were hindered this year because of a lot of rain. You know what I'm saying? So not being able to move certain things and pivot kind of hurts us. You know what I'm saying? So hoping that the bigger gyms kind of understand what is needed and know that we're not coming in with the intent of making money, but keeping your building safe, but making sure that we are housing our people to watch basketball,
Just community fun, man.
Yeah, a lot of times I know on the weekends, a lot of the big gyms are closed, like nothing's in there, but something could be in there. So whether it's for kids, whether it's for adults, just really having that reach to say like, hey man, we need the gym, can we open the door? That could be something that helps us out moving forward. I know we wanted to get Madison too.
Like who's in charge of all these gyms in Boston that that we can just go right to and just speak firsthand with?
Yeah,
we definitely need that, because I was out at the Lynn tournament, and I promise you, we was in the middle school, and it had to be like midnight or so, and games are still going on. You know what I mean? Which is crazy. I wish we can have something like that.
All Sibby, like
here.
Lynn, man.
That's definitely the crazy connect for that. So yeah, we definitely need that in our city. Where are you guys at with the future of the city? Tournaments, different things you'd like to see going on in the city. Like, were you excited about where basketball is right now? You know what I mean? With a lot of the young talent in college and high school. You know what I mean? So what do you guys foresee for future summers with, and Dre, you coach actually as well too, in addition to having your tournament. Dre was able to bless us with a few killers that came to Crew Love this year, man, and we pulled off 2 nice wins, you know what I mean? So shout out to Kevin Roy, because
the RCC guys.
They never seen them boys before.
Yeah. They went to get into it, man. They went to get into it. Shout out to RCC, Roxbury Community College basketball, trying to bring that name back to what it was.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like, man, what time is it? We got 7:48. Let's get to the bullshit. Yo, there's a lot of you players out here. A lot of you players out here that need to be playing basketball in y'all city, man. And start going and shooting out to all these other places, because whoop-de-whoop. Nah, you're in the city, play for your city, bring that name back. We rich in basketball out here. There's a lot of just even down to our colleges, man. There's no way BC, Northeastern, UMass, we let too many
gyms go to other schools.
Go to other colleges, other states. Nah, we need to bring all that back here to where it belongs. And I think as well as we're seeing a change into these players, we're also seeing the change of coaches, of mentorship, of leaders out here, man. I think we're getting good guys around here that's bringing these good, these kids back and reeling them back in. I think we went through a period where coaches were vicariously trying to live through certain players and things like that, instead of truly being a coach of what you are. And I think I saw a lot of coaches just only want to touch, or pause, or want to, I'm from Boston. We don't say pause, man. I've seen coaches that, only wanted to coach elite players. Like, nah, take a page out of Mitch's book. Mitch will take anybody and turn that player and
build it from the ground up
into a solid player. Like, man, and I think that we need to champion those guys. Of course, you'll have your elite talents that'll go. Like, shout out to AJ Dybanster. He's doing his thing. He's bouncing around. He's at Utah Prep, left Cali, doing his thing. But we have so much talent in this city that there's no way we can let them, slip our grass like that. Another shout out to Jaden Roberts. For me, bringing this back around. Everywhere I watched him this summer, and I'm hypercritical. And I might have been very critical about him. Everywhere he popped out, he might have been the standout in every tournament I watched him in. Right. So shout out to young Jaden Roberts, man. He's out here. He really killing, really getting to it. I critiqued him really hard, and I'm watching him elevate his game. He going upstairs now real comfortably. Yeah. And when he gets some good weight on him, some solid weight room, he gonna be a problem, man. He's already a problem. Shout out to him and all the other talent that's in this city. If you can stay home, I know it's tough with a lot of the NIL deals going on right now. I know it's tough, but if you can stay home, make them drop the bag. Shout out to Josiah, Jared's son.
Oh yeah,
he's coming. Shout out to Ryan Harrell and Jalen Harrell, his son. Providence admit.
LaDainian Payne.
LaDainian. Hey
Out to
man,
Ladanian
LaDainian,
Payne.
Gonna hear that.
Shout out to
LaDainian gonna
Ladanian Payne. That
I-
kid.
that's
I'm gonna piggyback
Yeah.
what Dre's saying right now. I think a lot of our kids that are in high school right now, stop looking at divisions, man. You know, like look
Yeah.
at the positivity of getting a career. Maybe basketball is just a tool for you to kind of, you know, pave your way to get to.
Yeah, get you that degree.
Yeah, man, because a lot of times people will be like, "No, I ain't going to RCC," and it's like, why not? You know, it's free. Why not? You know,
Exactly.
and I think that's a
Right.
part of the package of coaching too, where stop selling these kids false dreams. Maybe they gotta get there at RCC, and maybe that's just what's needed for them to grow. Because I'm gonna tell you, I did the research, man. A lot of our kids are failing in the first semesters of their college, man, because they're just not prepared. You know,
Yeah.
so again,
Yeah.
reevaluate your high school program and understand what it takes to get them to the next level. You know, and stop seeing these divisions as like, nah, I don't want to go to I don't want to go to D3. I need to go to D1. Nah, trust me, you get the same AT work. There's the same you know, like the divisions play hard. It's just it is what it is. But you're out the way.
And not only are they not prepared, they, you know, when they go to these other states, they don't really know a lot of people. So they don't have the comfort of having family around them all the time, trying to pick them up all the time. So that's why, you know, I definitely champion guys to go to the local schools, you know, because it's you do want kids to go branch out and go see all these other places and stuff like that. But, you know, some situations it's just tough. You know, you're going out there all alone.
A lot of talent to the streets, yo. You're losing a lot of talent to the streets, man. And I just want to tap back in and say, like, yo, for all of us brothers here on this podcast, I know we care about the kids. You know what I'm saying? Everybody that's watching it, I mean, grab one, man. Point them in the right direction, because a lot of this stuff just feels like they lost right now, man. And, you know, once again, that mentorship is very important. Don't think that don't think that you don't have the capabilities of talking to a kid to point them in the right direction. You do. You know what I'm saying? We all have been there, you know. So once again, like, less losing them to the streets and more putting them somewhere where they can really, you know, be their best selves, you know.
It's absolutely a rite of passage to be that way, just because of the way, you know, I was raised, and like you guys too, just as far as having, you know, certain OGs and people like that really, you know, meant something to you. You know what I mean? Rest in peace, Greer. You know, one of my biggest mentors just passed away a year or so ago. And again, I know what, you know, having him in my life meant. So it's definitely important for me to be that and pay it forward to the next up and coming young guys too. You know what I mean? It's only a rite of passage for us to be that way.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's definitely a topic of conversation. Shout out to the young boy, rest his soul, that just passed.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a prime example of, you know, one that slipped off, man. You know, that's a state champion right there. He should have been, you know, in a college somewhere, hooping somewhere, or, you know, the right person around here. And at the end of the day, you know, the goal is to be a productive, you know, citizen of Samaritan, you know. And like Drew said, it's like, stop selling these guys you know, false hopes, false dreams. It's okay to just go to D3 or community. It's okay. And we're in the era right now with that phone, social media, anybody can see you anywhere. I know a bunch of Division III players right now overseas getting money, in China getting to it. You know, plenty of opportunities out there, you know, and it's like, what, I don't know if it's we got to make ourselves look cooler or whatever it is. These guys are chasing the cool, which isn't really cool. Like,
right.
You know,
they're passing up on opportunities.
Yeah, we're home to some of the best, you know, schools and hospitals in the world. Like, you know, like I think we need to change that. We are, and I'm not gonna say we need. We are. We constantly.
It's heading in the right direction.
It's definitely headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
But yo, back to Crew Love. You said y'all don't do. What's the rules behind Division I players? I'm just asking because I saw Shandon. You know, I don't know if he played on the team or whose team.
No. So it's no division. So once your tenure is up, you got a year after your tenure is up. You know what I'm saying? So you got a year after your tenure is up, then you can play. So a lot
Is
of
that written somewhere, or was that just
it's
vocalized?
in the bylaws, man. You know what I'm
It's in
saying?
the bylaws. Heard you.
So
I don't know, man. I saw in that Dorchester Reporter that there was a kid that played at some Division I school. I can't remember what team he played for.
and
I
then
was like, yo, look at
I don't know nothing, man.
I said, okay.
Yo, also with that, man, I think
It's
we
all
need
good.
to,
It's all
we
good.
need to bring the map out, man, because I think a lot of people are confused what city they from, or what, you know.
It may be.
Yo.
Shout out to
real
Terry.
quick.
Shout out to Sleep, man. It's Roxbury and Dorchester. Shout out to Sleep. I don't know.
Word.
Shout out to Shannon. Is your pops from Dorchester? Or you from Dorchester? I don't know. That's what they saying. I don't know.
Hey,
I don't know.
got the win, man. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter to me. But to be honest with you, there is a game 7. There's a game 7 next year.
It's game 7.
Kind of break all of this madness and talk. That's gonna be the finalization of something. But we're about to
what's the score right now?
So we'll be branching off to switching the matchup.
So
we'll be
the score is 3-3 based on the victory this year by Dorchester. If you're counting every game, see, because when Roxbury counted the first year, even though the game didn't fit, they counted. So it's like anytime Dorchester has win when they cause a distraction or do something, those games don't count. I'm just that's what they were saying.
You gotta stop it.
But again, there's been 6 games.
Dr. Falk? Call Dr. Falk.
Shout out to Dr. Falk.
This now. No, he's
Rich, man. Don't listen, my brother. Please, man. Please.
I don't know about
here start telling tales, dog.
But I think it would be exciting for this. I think the city always loves a game 7. I think we are promoting it as such. There's possibilities that game will be played somewhere where everybody is fair playing grounds, right? We want to be at a fair playing ground. So I think it's going to be dope where we're trying to bring it. For us, it's about elevation. It's about growth, so for the most part, we will be after this moving towards, like, hey, Mattapan, you ask for something, you get what you ask for, and we've been hit up by other cities, other towns. So we're gonna add a little bit to the table, so once again, and with this Roxbury versus Dorchester stuff, man, we're trying to branch out to most of the other tournaments too, just to kind of get some help and some clarity on some things, because we also feel like this is for the community. So this is for the basketball community. So it's not just Crew Love. This is for everybody. So we'll be branching out a little bit to make it more a united front. You know what I'm saying? That everybody can have a part in. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's Dorchester all the way. You know what I'm saying?
You already know.
Yo, we gonna see y'all at the Garden.
Hey,
oh man,
you heard it here first.
That's moving big, man.
Punching tickets at the Garden. Netflix series. Heard you.
Dre, before you get up out of here, man, what's the future? King of the Court, everything like that. What's going on with that?
Man, I think the future of the King of the Court is better than ever. And like Drew had mentioned, like it was kind of just really did it off the muscle. I think next year we'll be branching out to, get some sponsorship in there. We got a nice gym. We got a nice, always stayed away from it. With all of my endeavors, I really be like trying to get the people like, yo, y'all be here. Y'all doing it. We can do this. Like, it's us. We don't have to be reaching out and trying to get a affiliation with something. And I think I've seen it in a negative way where it can be a positive thing to get, some sort of sponsorship or affiliation or politicians. And, it can be a win-win for everybody. So I think that's the direction that, King of the Court be heading in. And ultimately at the end of the day, we're helping some kids out, man. We're helping somebody that with some resources that they didn't have or didn't expect. So it's a win-win across the board. So definitely be reaching out to more sponsorship.
Yeah,
What's
definitely.
up?
Man. Absolutely. We're definitely saying it here first. TSMP Athletics will be in King of the Court next year. You know what I mean?
Heard you
King of the
loud and
Court and
clear.
Crew Love.
We'll definitely be back in Crew Love next year. You know what I mean? So definitely looking forward to that. Guys, we're at the end of end of the line, man. Any parting shots, anything before we get up out of here? Definitely appreciate you guys pulling up on the first episode. We're supposed to have a third guest, but I think some technical difficulties happened, man. But hopefully we'll get them on another episode. But yeah, parting shots. Here you go.
Warriors on
Please,
3.
Yo, go ahead, Drew. Say what you gotta say, Drew.
I see sleep. Yeah,
Wait, Sleep's in there? Hold on.
Warriors.
Warriors on 3, huh?
So he taking shots.
You know, I think the future for Crew Love is bright, and it continues to be bright because of people like yourselves. You know what I'm saying? That are able to kind of give us the true Hollywood truth. You know what I'm saying, about how y'all feel about our tournament and the respect of it. And once again, we don't take anything for granted. You know what I'm saying? This is all love. So we accept everything, the good, the bad, the ugly. But once again, anything to make it better, anything to make it more inclusive for our community, anything to make it represent our community, that's what we're about, man. So shout out to the guys that are in the back of my screen, because without them, there will be no Crew Love. That's for sure. You know what I'm saying? So I want to tip my hat off to all of them, man, and I'm looking forward to Dorchester winning Game 7. I'm looking forward to B4L going back for four straight Crew Love championships.
Y'all lost last year. Y'all lost it from me.
Yo, Dre, we coming in there next year, Dre.
I heard you loud and clear, man. Just let me know if I can bring some of my players over, because I'm still trying to figure out if we can get D1 athletes or not. I didn't get clarity on that. I'm looking for ask the bylaws.
I saw you. I don't know, man. I saw some this year, man.
Listen, man.
I saw some this year.
Or where you go, Niagara? I don't know. Maybe Niagara ain't Division 1 anymore.
We're gonna make sure Maine and Sammy get the clear cut rules. So
man.
Yes, please.
Please.
But again, shout out to everybody, in the city that's putting on, that supported us over these years. Shout out to the facilities. Shout out to Emmanuel College. Shout out to, the city for allowing a lot of these tournaments to get off. And shout out to, at the end of the day, we're elevating. I think sometimes we focus on some negative things, but over the last couple of years, we've seen some fly things happen in our city, and I think we should appreciate that. From Liz becoming the first Black senator on down, man. We've been watching some fly things in our city, and we're a part of it. And so, in the midst of this, we are making history. And I say we, community, friends, family, us, we're just a part of it, man. We're just, we're just a vehicle, and just, even you guys, we're in a podcast space now, right? And so I'm assuming that live podcasting is going to start happening at these tournaments. And so it's technology is moving fast. And who knows, there might be an AI at Crew Love, just, doing their thing, there's no real rules around here. So, who knows, though?
We might have AI as our ref.
Yo, the refs got to get better in the city, man. We got to talk about
here we go.
Let's talk about it.
That's a whole nother topic, right?
Hold on for a second.
I need to know who the best host. All right, before I get off, who's the best host? Shout out to Blue. Shout out to the
What, in the city?
Yeah.
Chill out, Dre. You trying to
me? Because it's a part of the game. It's evolved.
We
shout
have some
out
of
to
the
the
best.
boys, Green, baby.
We have some of the best.
Shout out to Blue. Watch your head.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go all of them. I'm gonna go all
Shout
of
out
them.
to all of them.
Yeah,
I'm over here stirring the pot, man.
Shout
I'm just
out.
here
Hold
stirring
on.
the pot.
Before we get up out of here, though, hold on. Before we get up out of here.
Throw it in the corner. Brown fakes, fires up the three. Bang! Bang! Jaylen Brown knocks down the three to tie the game.
That's fire.
Yeah, man.
Right, that was another Division I player there. What was that Courtney? Look, that was Courtney.
Nah, today's buzzer beater. Today, man, we want to remember somebody from the basketball community. The other morning, man, Stacy Messiah, good brother, OG, from the community, man, play basketball here. A lot of leagues, you know what I mean? In the city, man. Overseas. He lost his battle with cancer. So rest in peace, Stace, man. You know, and much condolences to his family, you know, his wife and his kids and stuff like that. The one thing I love about our community, the basketball, is it's super together. It's always definitely support across the board. So we definitely want to make sure we honored and said our rest in peace to the good brother Stacy, man.
Yeah, definitely a good guy.
Rest in peace to him. Condolences to the family.
Word up. But yeah, man, we'll be back. Little, what's up? Anything you want to say before we get up out of here?
No, I'm just happy that we're here. I'm just happy we're in this space right now. And, you know, we'll be back next week.
Next
Same
Sunday.
time.
We'll be,
Yeah.
Next
Hold on. I got buckets to give some of y'all teams. I'm just letting y'all know. I got buckets, and I just caught. Look, I got some new AEs that I'm trying to drop out and pull out, man. So you know, we good, man.
Listen,
Yo,
man.
we knew he couldn't. We knew he couldn't resist.
Rockets on 3, huh?
We knew he
Rockets
couldn't
on
resist
three,
from
man.
that. You know what I mean? So yeah, the games are starting next week. So
Hold on, man.
yeah,
Shout out-
35 and over.
Shout out to
35 and
Marv,
over.
man, on his
35 and
retirement,
over.
whatever that
Who?
looks like, man. Marv,
Who?
shout out to you, Marv.
Here
Marv,
you
shout
go.
out
Retiring?
Oh, here we go. No,
So
stop.
Marv and Joshua Brooks Braun, huh?
You knock it off, Marv. You are not retired. We do not believe you're
He's
retired.
retiring, huh?
Cut it out, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shout out to
brother.
OTL. Shout out to the Tobin. Shout out to Booby for making
Yeah.
that happen.
Shout out to
Yo,
Brandon.
fellas.
Yeah.
Yo, let's talk
Thank
about
you,
that
Derek.
real quick. Yo, OTL,
No.
man. Pay the
Hold
five,
on.
man. Pay
Hold
the
on.
five. We all working adults. Pay the five, man. Knock it off. Dudes is being cheap. It's only another $50 more. We get how many games? 22 plus games.
22
A
plus games,
facility.
uniforms, top and bottom. I mean,
Yeah, nah, come on, knock it off, y'all.
yeah,
Pay
that's
the
a whole
five,
other,
Martin.
that's a whole other conversation. But definitely, definitely pay the five.
We'll
Game-
get
Pay the
into it.
five, yo.
Shout out to Brandon for wanting to be a rocket, man. You know what I'm saying? Brandon,
What happened?
You a rocket, bro. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
here we go.
Tom,
Here we
who?
go. Here we go.
Who?
Here we go.
Couldn't
Yeah,
hear him.
nonsense, Dre. Don't even worry about it. Nonsense.
Man,
He's
them guys, man.
he's spilling gibberish. He don't know about the Warriors link up last week. We good. We locked in, man. You know
Oh,
how
nah,
that
yeah,
works.
we was at, you know,
We locked
we
in.
was
We
at
locked
the estate. We was at the
in.
estate.
You know what I mean? Barrels Estate, dog.
We was
So
at the Barrel
ready.
Estate,
We
man.
Know
get
that
ready for the season.
there's no early runs for any Warrior players.
Ah!
You know what I'm saying? Sammy, we can work something out. We get like 2 Lakers.
Yeah, I was just,
Yeah, we could. I mean, we could. We could work something out. I mean, you know.
But yeah,
Nah,
man.
man, but definitely appreciate y'all for pulling up, man. Definitely.
Nah, thanks for having us on the first episode,
Already
man.
know.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you,
Much
guys.
respect to you guys.
Love is love.
Go
You
fall,
at
go
G5?
fall, baby. Huh? Yeah, you
Back
know,
in the
man.
plane?
We sit, we cooling, man. We sit here, we
Getting money
lounge.
over
We
there.
want the lounge for this first episode, man. You know what I mean?
Heard you.
That'll be cool.
All right, y'all. We out of here, man.
Peace,
Thank you
fellas.
very much.